Published by Humble Games and developed by Curious Panda Games. Welcome back everyone for WhiteFalcon Plays. Today we're taking a look at a game called The Iron Oath. This is a tactical RPG. Command, endure and prosper in the Iron Oath. A turn-based tactical RPG where the fate of your mercenaries rest on your decisions. Lead your band as they age, retire and die. Build your outfits, renown, across decades in an ever-changing medieval fantasy realm. Caelum. This one looks really interesting. Looks like it's got a lot of role-playing elements. It's got a good story, it seems, as well as some interesting strategic turn-based combat. So let's jump in and see what it's all about. Okay, company name. White Lotus, let's do that. Oh, look at that. Something like that will do. Okay, no Iron Man mode, thanks. And we don't want to skip the intro, so there we go. Sir White Lotus. Oh, I don't know if I like that colour. Maybe that. I'm not sure. Okay. Battle Hardened. Encounter challenges meant for veteran tactical RPG players. 500 gold and 100% seems standard. A bunch of battle hardened mercenaries in an era all but forgotten. The gods once lived alongside humanity in the heart of Caelum. However, an unknown cataclysm event plunged the world into a dark age. History was lost to time, and so too were the gods. In their absence, a rebuilding humanity was left to contend with the emergence of a great being of darkness from the void. Every few decades, in an event called the Scourge, the dragon arrival would bring death and disease to the land. Those affected by the dragon's blight would lose their minds and bodies as they slowly became abominations of flesh and outcasts of society, known as the Blighted. Despite centuries of effort from the Vanguard Order and the realm's greatest heroes, no lasting victory against the dragon could be achieved. Humanity has now come to accept the inevitability of the Scourge as part of life, enduring or in some cases thriving despite it. With whispers of an impending scourge circulating, you and your company find yourselves in a burial crypt not far from the city of Andalon. A simple retrieval of smuggled supplies, or at least that's what your employee had promised. Into a crypt. Okay. A little bit of coffee. Okay. How cool does that weapon look? And the art style is great. Okay, looks cool. Eureka. Damned grave robbers, stay sharp. No doubt his companions will have heard that. Everyone stands still, tension rising as they grip their weapons tight and scan the room for further hostiles. You hear a muffled shout from someone in an adjacent corridor, likely directed towards their now deceased associate. The sound of quickening footsteps soon follows, and three figures burst through the doorway at the far side of the room. Shoot! Should I go and alert the others? No time for that. We have no choice but to fight. Survey the battlefield with the WASD. You can also pan holding their middle mouse. Mind the archer and find yourself some cover, Albert. On their turn, each character can move as many hexes as the movement stat allows. You can move into any green hex and still perform an action afterwards. To cover more ground, you can sprint to grey hexes, but it will end their turn. Finally, you can swap places with an ally by moving on to their location. This can be useful for setting up attacks or removing the ally from harm's way. Move the Stormcaller into cover by clicking left mouse button on the indicated hex. If you don't have a desirable move or action to perform, you can delay a character's turn to the end of the round by hitting the wait button on the hotbar. Alternatively, you can end your character's turn by using the guard action on the hotbar. Doing so will increase their defense and evasion until the next round. Click the wait button to delay the Stormcaller's turn. So you can wait after you move. That's different. Most games don't let you do that. Class abilities have a certain amount of charges available during the course of a mission, indicated by the blue numbers on the hotbar. Couldn't see that. More potent abilities have fewer uses available, so plan wisely. With the enemy advancing on us, we can set up a trap by using the Pyrolancer's Return to Cinder ability on the indicated hex. How many uses? Okay, at the top here. 4 uses? 5 uses? No, that's just the number it is. Not sure. Damage. As you can see, it's important to pay attention to any traps and terrain hazards when positioning your units. To gain more information on a trap or terrain type, you can mouse over the hex in question. Some abilities are able to push or pull targets, which can present certain opportunities for both you and the enemy. By forcing targets into obstacles and terrain, you can inflict bonus damage or other harmful effects. That's cool. Move the Pugilist into position and use the Crescent Wave ability to push the enemy into the pit. Ah. Pugilist delivers a powerful spinning kick to any 3 connected targets around him, damaging and knocking back any 3. Wow. Oh, he's back up. Okay. I have to read that one at a time. Every character on the battlefield exerts a zone of control on hexes adjacent to their position. Now that your Guardian has engaged the enemy, they are no longer able to reach your Stormcaller without being subject to an attack of opportunity. This goes both ways, and the Guardian cannot leave the enemy zone without suffering the same. There are some exceptions to the rule, such as the use of ability that incorporates. No, I have trouble saying that one at the moment. Movement, or when the would-be attacker is suffering from any debilitating status effect, like stun. Conserve your stamina. Keep him busy. Though basic attacks generally deal less damage than the abilities, there is no limit to their use. It is wise to conserve some of your unique abilities for later. Is this their energy? Perform your basic attack on the enemy by clicking the left mouse button. Still a decent amount of damage. You've got clear view on that archer. Take him out! Most attacks and abilities are subject to line of sight check. When a character has no vision of an enemy, they are unable to target them. Large obstacles such as a pillar can block line of sight entirely. Smaller obstacles such as a barrel, crate or other enemy unit will partially block line of sight under the right circumstances. A target who is partially visible will receive 50% less damage from attacks. The Stormcaller has taken position directly behind a small obstacle. Because he is adjacent to it, he is unable to look over the obstacle and gain full vision of the enemy archer, while remaining only partially visible in return. The Stormcaller's conduit ability can devastate a single enemy from range, but takes a few turns to channel. Select the ability and target the enemy archer. One turn to channel does 436 damage. Positional awareness. When the nearest enemy is stunned, okay, because he went down the hole. Okay, the Pyrolancer can safely move past their zone of control without incurring attack opportunities. Let's aid the Guardian and sprint to engage in the target. Oof. Lightning strike. Finish him off. Spirit. Your pugilatist has killed an enemy and gains spirit. Spirit is displayed underneath each character's portrait and represents their overall mood and attitude towards the current mission. It also plays a role in determining a character's post-mission fatigue. During combat, spirit is gained through the feats such as killing an enemy or winning a fight. It can be lost through adverse triggers as well, when an enemy lands a critical strike or in the extreme case of a party member dying. Targets are considered flanked whenever you occupy two opposing hexes around their location. Doing so will increase the damage they take from all attacks. With the Pyrolancer already in position, we can move the Guardian into a flanking position and attack with extra damage. Let's see. Okay. Seem nearly the same. Time to end this. Range damage. Sure. Alright, gained experience. 2 turns have elapsed, and we got bandages. Eric sheaths his weapon, gazing around the room to make sure all are unharmed. Everyone alright then? Looks down to assess their condition, somewhat surprised at the apparent luck. Not a scratch it seemed. Well, he did get hit a bit. Lion gestures at some blood on Eric's arm. Never mind us, you've certainly looked better. Eric glances down at his injuries and scoffs. What, this? He wipes the blood, making a smeary mess of it. Nothing time won't heal. I'll be fine. You turn as a familiar voice rings out distantly behind you, though the words... Let me try and hold this. Through the words are unclear. Is that you, Varn? Varn dashes into the room and stops, kneeling over to catch his breath. He looks up with a relieved smile. Glad to see you're all still with us. We heard the fighting, figured you couldn't handle it. Could handle it, but I didn't want to take the chance. He strolls up to one of the lifeless bodies and leans over it for a closer look, eyes narrow. Grave robbers, eh? Can't say I'm surprised. Folks are getting desperate with the scourge looming on all. Indeed, and the others? Van points in the direction he came from. Torin and the rest are still searching. Surely there are better places to stash black market goods, but I suppose those smugglers didn't have much of a choice. At least we're getting paid to retrieve them. I've been in worse situations. Aye, that we have, boss. I was just hoping my last job would be free of surprises. Last job? You're leaving the company? Auric puts a hand on Van's shoulder, gives him a few friendly slaps. He's been reminding us for weeks now, haven't you heard? Van smiles and wriggles free, brushing off Eric's hand. Retirement would excite you too if you were my age. Not many of us make it this far. His face goes dark for a brief moment, remembering the friends you've all lost. He shakes it off and points a thumb towards Lion and the other new recruits. So how'd they do anyway? Uric glances over at them with the slightest hint of pride. They handle themselves well. All things considered, we'll make soldiers out of them yet. Your trusted advisor, Alaric, steps out from your side, and with hands raised, bringing a halt to the conversation. Alright now, there's plenty of time to talk later. It's going to take a while to score this place, even with the other help. Right. I'd better get back to Torin and the rest before they find themselves lost. Watch your backs. There may be more of those thieves in here, or worse yet. Van looks back over his shoulder with a sly grin and winks. Believe me, I'm taking no chances. Dungeon exploration and time. Most actions you take while exploring a dungeon will cost time. The passage of time can have various consequences and represents by the time meter, the bottom right. We should begin exploring. Use the left mouse button to move a party adjacent tile. Scouting can be useful in order to spot enemies, traps and other surprises that may await you. It does cost extra time, however, so it should be used sparingly. Click the right mouse button over a tile to scout in that direction. Treasure. Exploration events. When interacting with an exploration event, you'll often have multiple choices available to you, sometimes costing various amounts of time. Your character will have their own opinion on the choices you make, which can affect their overall loyalty to the company. Some actions require a stat check, and the character with the highest relevant attribute will be chosen for the task. The character in question will give you feedback to help you gauge their chance of success. If you have any tools with you, they can be assumed to boost the chances of a successful action, or to perform a unique action that otherwise wouldn't be available to you. Wow, this is pretty in-depth. You spot a discarded pack up ahead, likely dropped in haste by the grave robbers when you alerted them. Don't expect to find much value, but it's not like they'll be coming back to claim it. Okay. Well, no sense in leaving it for others to find. Take whatever looks useful. Helena gains 2. Ebert didn't like it. Okay. We got a small healing potion, bandages, and tools. Used to disable certain traps and hazards. Okay. So, should we spend time to check, or should we just go? Ooh. Okay. Using provisions during exploration. Provisions can be used both in and out of combat. While exploring, you can access your provisions inventory in the bottom left menu by pressing the I key. Provisions used during exploration have their own associated time cost. Our Pyrolancer Uruk is hurting a bit after that last encounter. We should use one of our potions to restore his health. Okay. Ooh. Your foes are now well aware of your presence and have prepared accordingly. Increase the chance for ambush in remaining encounters. Oh. Time modifiers. As you explore, the application of various time modifiers will present new challenges for you to overcome. With each time modifier applied, your party will slowly become unnerved and suffer a small loss to spirit. Due to those factors, it's important to be efficient and spend your time wisely. You can see which modifiers are currently active next to the time meter at the bottom right. Okay. Wow. During the deployment phase, you are able to reposition your party ahead of combat. Click left mouse button on any character to move them, and click anywhere on their valid text to confirm their new position. Once you are satisfied, click the start combat. Well, he wants to knock people into a hole. But he can't really get around here very easily. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Another archer. How much do they move? Can we know that? Nope. Okay. mind, body, soul. Target self or a single ally and cleanse negative conditions. Okay. And then the ranged kick plus standard kick. Might just move him there for now. Where's that wait command? Okay. We jump over here. Seems pretty bold. Okay. I guess we can jump on here and get a flank. Hope it doesn't break on us. Targets 3 cells in a row and summons a fire in the one nearest him. The fire spreads to the next cell every 3 turns. Inflicts burn, cleanses, frozen. Deals 100% and 75% fire damage to 2 targets in a row. Guess it has to be in front. Yeah, okay, cool. Stabs a single adjacent enemy, inflicting burn or adds stacks of it if already applied. 400 health. So should do extra damage. And he's burning. Okay. Target a single enemy with 4 ranged. Arc lightning, a ball of lightning that hits the primary target and arcs to all adjacent targets for lesser damage. Rainfall. Targets a single cell and restores spirit over the next 2-3 turns. Cleansing and giving immunity to burning. Apply wet status, which grants fire resistance for 3 rounds. Any lightning damage will stun or crit wet targets. Applies puddle terrain to tile. Wow. Target 2 cells in any direction and summon a cyclone which pushes all occupants from their current positions. Oh my goodness. Alright, you can kill the archer again, I guess. Okay, so you can't move, you can only use an ability, so you guard. If he moves here, we can knock him out, so we'll just wait. She's gonna hurt, yes. He's smart. Cleansing conditions. You can remove negative conditions from your character with cleansing abilities or by using an antidote from the hot bar. Not all harmful effects can be cleansed, such as injuries or the flank debuff. For clarification, you can mouse over the status icon and effect question and read the tooltip. Okay. Blind an adjacent enemy for 1 round. Can I move here without getting attack of opportunity? Yeah, I can. Single target damage, range of 2. Single target heal, range of 2. Channel for 4 turns, deploy a damage shield on self and target. I think blind will be very helpful on this one. And then we'll kill this guy. Not looking that healthy again. Okay. Strikes an adjacent opponent, warps behind them, and quickly delivers a second strike with their palm that knocks the target into the previous occupied cell. Targets 2 cells in a row. First must be empty, second occupied, dashing forward and striking the target. Can't do too much here, so I'll just do a normal attack. I do enough damage to kill him, it's all these things. Okay, blinded, helped. He's coming around the back. Oh! Pushes me into stuff. So where is our, how many times can we use things, etc.? I didn't get that part. What's life? She's got 400. With all three of us attacking her, we should be... Oh, we should have moved up here. Silly. Oh! She dodged us. That sucked. Gonna heal. Nice. Spirit potion. 2 bandages. Okay, this is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Alright, let's continue. I bet you now we're going to get traps. You signal halt as a faint and disturbing rumble becomes audible, steady, growing louder and closer with each passing moment. You look up, noticing cracks forming in the ceiling as a small rock breaks off and falls to the floor around you. Ulrich bumps against you and tugs at your arm, urging you to run. It's a cave-in. We need to move. Breaking into stride behind the rest of your party, you steal a glance back to see the corridor collapsing in cascades of falling stone. You cross the threshold into another chamber, diving into the ground as a path behind is quickly closed off by the crumbling structure. A cloud of dirt and dust obscures your vision, but the rumbling crash comes to a halt as the last few pieces of debris can be heard tumbling into position. Everyone alright? You look around as the dust settles. Aside from a few coughing fits, everyone seems to be unscathed. What the hell is that, an earthquake? Might have been. All those grave robbers tried to force their way into some place they shouldn't. Ulrich expects the cave-in passage, lightly kicking at some of the rubble on the ground. Regardless, we'll have to find another way out. What of the others? And the supplies we're supposed to be locating? Ulrich placed a reassuring hand on Helena's shoulder. Van and them were on the other side of the crypt. I suspect they're fine, or at least I hope. Our priority is to find them. Hopefully they're already retrieving the supplies. We could do with a little luck. Continue. Okay, so we can't go this way, is that what it's saying? Okay. Oh, there's rubble everywhere. Okay. Your path is blocked by a pile of rubble with a recent cave-in. Ulrich steps forward and climbs atop a guard to gauge the severity of the blockage. It's not that bad. I can see a clear path ahead. Just needs to move enough of this rubble so we can squeeze through. He turns, looking down to address you. Any ideas? Okay. Medium, high risk, low risk. This one has bad consequences. One of them or not the other. Okay. Okay, we'll do the shovel. Ulrich grabs the shovel and begins to dig, soon clearing a path just wide enough for everyone to fit through. Your priority crawls through the gap in the rubble and comes out on the other side, sliding down the pile and back onto solid ground. You see the flickering light of a torch being cast into the room with a connecting hall, illuminating more of your surroundings as it nears. Your party forms up, preparing for combat as the flames barrier rounds the corner. Easy now, it's just me. I thought this whole damn place was going to come down on top of us. The structure groans and rumbles for a moment. He glances around with some concern. It might yet. Ulrich motions back towards the collapse. That whole section is caved in. We'll need to find a new way out of here once we're done. I figured as much. Torin and the others are already set to finding one. I take you haven't found any supplies yet either? Ulrich slowly shakes his head. Unfortunately not. Let's hope that they're not buried in stone. We can regroup with Torin and secure an exit. Sure thing, boss. He quickly scans his surroundings and leans in close, his expression turning deadly serious. There's something else. All that commotion has disturbed the dead within these walls. I've already put it down to a few of those bastards, but you'd best stay alert for more. Undead? Do you suspect a necromancer? I'd reckon those rumors of an imminent scourge are indeed true. Unnatural occurrences are all too common on the eve of it, in my experience. I thank you for the warning. We'll tread carefully. Okay. Combat. Okay, warhounds. And 1 guard. Alright, what are we gonna do here? This guy's like quick to start. Let's wait for it. How quick are these wolves? Okay. Damage shield on self and target. How does this work? Debuffs cleared. Alright, let's hit this guy with a bit of fire. Whew! Is that a crit? Bam, bam! Thank you, ma'am! 3 hexes. We could hit 2 of these. But none of them would be getting knocked into anything. We could come... Or we get attack of opportunity there. Okay. Warps behind them and quickly delivers a secondary strike with their palm and knocks target in the previous occupied cell. It'd be cool to do that there, but we get hit there. Got a little armor shield. Let's spread them all out, I guess. Sure. Oh. Okay. I guess they get to move before it all happens though. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. So if I move here, then I can get a crit in. It's not the end of the turn, is it? What is she? Oh, because she's channeling. Okay. This guy's in trouble. Let's do a little flicker past him. Nice. It's coming in to get walloped. Dodge! God damn it. Okay. Oh, all these dodges. Okay. Still don't know how much energy we've got. Just defend, I guess. We're not looking too hot. Oh, we can level up as well. Awesome. When a character gains enough experience, they will level up and receive attribute bonuses. Abilities points are used to upgrade or alter the effects of a character's abilities. You are not required to spend either of these points right away. You can access the level up screen later on in the management menu. All abilities can be viewed, equipped, and upgraded by going to the abilities tab. So you can learn new abilities. Oh my goodness. Increase the duration. Wow. Damage bonus, acrobatics. Wow, this is cool. And then you got strength, crit damage, HP, evasion, accuracy, evasion, HP, defense. Wow, very cool. This is a monk. I like this skill. Adds 1 charge. I don't know where the charges are. Charges up here. Upgrade points. Another one's still going. Add another charge to it. Affects accuracy, crit, and evasion. Also affects attack. Oh, all of them have leveled up. Holy moly. Okay. Alright. Well, he uses his electric equip, increases range. That could be good. Or channel time by 1. Oh yeah, do that. And your intelligence. Affects critical damage and perception. Also affects attack. Okay. You're the kind of the healer type person. So I'm guessing you can... Okay. Increase the range. Increase your shield value. The attack has actions this round, they move next. Has an action this round, they move next. Generate 2 radiant stacks. What are radiant stacks? Okay. Wisdom and charisma. Okay. Oh, he's level 4. Uh-oh. You are not sure where or how it happened, but you seem to have misplaced a few items from your pack. You lost 1 tools. Harsh. Alright, let's continue on. See what this little one does here. Ulrich runs their hand along a wall of interred dead. Reading the inscription on each nameplate before moving on to the next, he stops at one, peering close and double checking the name before turning in with relief in his voice. This is the one we were told to look for, boss. About time. Let's hope it contains are still intact. Reaching with both arms into the dark recesses, Ulrich firmly grabs hold of a coffin. Its ancient and rotting wood creaking in protest. He gingerly slides the coffin part way out and pushes the lid aside. Rummaging around briefly, he pulls out the stashed pack with a care. Taking a peek inside the confirm the contents. He walks over to you and hands off the bag. Ulrich. Okay, it's all there. No damage to the vials, from what I can tell. What does our employee want with them anyway? Aldrich interjects, eager to share his knowledge on the matter. This here is a cure for the blight, or at least it slows the process. The Vanguard keeps it tightly controlled, though, only treating those who pledge themselves to their order. A fair offer, in my view. Of course, not everyone wants to spend the rest of their days fighting evil for the safety of the realm. That's where the black market comes in, on which these vials will fetch a high price. It's why our employee is paying us so well. At least our efforts haven't been wasted. Let's regroup with Van and hope that they've found us an exit. Okay. Let's do a little search. Nothing here. This will be where the trap is. A crown. Our guys don't look amazing. Should I heal them? Let's heal our monk there. Okay. You hear a sudden movement in the darkness ahead. The sound of bones rattling and scraping along the stone floor. Bright green eyes turn towards you, and the undead beings let out a bone-chilling scream as it shuffles forward and into the light of your torches. Moving faster than its size and awkward gait would suggest, it as possible. Prepare yourselves and fight. What the heck is that? Running away from us. Okay. Well, we've got nothing really to push them away. Let's push this guy up here. We'll put that guy up here. A risen ghoul, an anguished, a risen general. Alright. Oh, darn it. I was hoping we would go first. He's going to attack our other dude. Wow. Okay. Cleanses negative conditions, don't have any. I think we'll just go with a standard kick. So if we wait and we can get behind him, he can do more damage. But we've got a lot of people here. Okay. Oh my goodness, he's got a lot of health. Oh my, and he can move a long way. 45. Not too bad. 800 health. Okay. So we can get through 2 of these, but we can't move because we'll get counterattacked. Single target damage. Okay, so we've got 5 of these left. Is that what it's saying? He doesn't seem to be doing too much damage. Let's attack this guy with that. And then this guy can come in and do a sweeping hit. 3 cells in a row. 2 enemies in a row. Nice. Okay. Target 2 cells in a direction and summon a cyclone which pushes all occupants in current position. Rainfall. Arc. Lightning. Oh, it's going to hit that guy. Hits friendly units. Okay. Just do a standard attack. Or what if we do arc light on that one? Doesn't do any. So they have to be touching adjacent enemies for lesser damage. Okay. Alright. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Now if we wait, no, he's not gonna do too much extra. Oh, do we wait or not? We can get here and then hit that guy. He's gonna take a lot of damage. She could then heal him. Let's jump down here. Oh, that was stupid. That was silly. I forgot about the counter. I'm like, we'll take this guy out, hopefully. Oh, I didn't even take him out. Now he's going to get hit again and pretty much die. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that doesn't do much damage. Okay. Let's heal him up. Yes, that was a silly move. Add stacks of it if it's already applied. That's interesting. Alright, wait. We can move across to here and not get hit. And then hit this guy in the back. Okay. Take out this guy. Thank you for not getting it. Revives in 1 round. We have to kill him. What happens if that guy falls into us? Oh, that did a decent amount of damage. Okay. Not the most optimal battle. We've got 5 of these still. Adjacent enemy for 1 round. We'll just make them blinded while other guys get to us. Take this guy out. Enemies that belong to the same group share the unique passive ability. The passive ability for these undead skeletons allow them to reanimate once defeated. To prevent them from reanimating, we'll need to target and destroy the pile of bones. Okay, easy enough. Alright, let's get behind this guy. Takes it. It's a bit tough as well. Oh, he's going to move. Uh-oh. End the suffering. Is he going to explode? Okay, let's move back here. We'll do another heal on this guy. How big is the explosion going to be if he does? Move back here. Can't do any more conduits. What's his range? 5 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go here. Is that right? Then we can still target him. Yeah. 4,999 damage. Wow. Okay. Demon's Blood. Small healing potion, which we're going to need because of our amazing skill in battle. Okay. Uh-oh. You're not sure where, or when, or how, but you seem to have misplaced a few items. 1 small healing potion. That was harsh. Stealing our 1 healing potion. What's this one doing? Restore 10 spirit. So they've all got quite a lot of spirit. Okay. Okay. Alright. Another event. Your party comes to a standstill as muffled shouts and ringing steel reverberate down the corridor towards you. Yorick unsheathes his lance, motioning the rest of you forward as he breaks into stride, barreling towards the sound of battle. There must be others. Hurry! Uh-oh. An archer in the middle of them all? 3 archers, all being surrounded. He looks like he's undead too. Your party comes to a standstill as muffled... Oh yeah, that must be hurry. With the last of the undead dealt with, Van Hull hails you across the chamber with a flick of his hand. A relieved smile forming upon his face as he strides closer to meet you. Did you find it then? The exit's just beyond here. Been trying to keep it clear of the dead, but they just keep coming. A pile of bones near Torrent's feet suddenly begin to rattle, and the eyes of the skull reignite in a bright green unseen force attempts to reassemble the skeleton. Torrent grunts and steps forward, crushing the skull beneath his heel, grinding it into the fine dust as he looks up with a satisfied grin. Took you all long enough? Val here is getting all worked up and thinking the worst. The crypt groans once more, the ground beneath you shaking ever so slightly. I don't expect the structure to hold out much longer, sir. We must not linger. Yorick raises his torch high, inspecting the ceiling above the small pebbles break away from him. Good advice, I reckon. We got what we came here. Let's not tempt fate. Injury and infirmaries. 1 or more of your characters have sustained injury during your most recent expedition. Wonder why. And will require time off to heal. You can speed up their recovery by placing them in a city infirmary for a cost. If an injury is severe enough, the character must be treated in an infirmary in order to recover. Otherwise, they risk permanent damage or health. So where's that? Total damage taken. Oh yeah, we get all the stats. She's been healing though, so that's a big thing. Where does it show that they need healing? Okay. Oh yeah, recovery time. Oof. Loot found. 1 bottle. What about our spirit? Oh yeah, here we go. Turned into money. Gear breakdown. Oh, you need to repair all your gear. Okay, so here's the other part of the game. As the last night of day begins to fade, you spot your company's camp not far ahead. The flickering flame bonfire dances against the darkened sky above the horizon. The rest of the company has already begun celebrating, it seems, as boisterous shouting and laughter can be heard, cutting through the crisp evening air. Yurik sidles up to Van and puts a friendly arm around his shoulder. Looks like they were eager to start celebrating your retirement, huh? Van snorts and flashes an amused smile. Seems so, doesn't it? Strolling into camp, the other members of your company take note of your arrival, turning to raise their cups and letting out a few whoops and cheers as you pass them by. A crowd forms around Van, all chanting his name and reaching out to pat him on the back, some more forcefully than others. Squirming out of the crowd with a drink in hand, Van steps atop a nearby crate and turns to address everyone, raising his voice to pierce through the ruckus. Now you all know I'm not one for lengthy speeches, but I'd just like to say that it's been an honor to fight alongside each of you over the years. I dare say that even considering some of you among friends, I even consider some of you among friends. He grins, met by a chorus of laughs and cheers. It hasn't been an easy road, but I've been a fortunate man. Not everyone gets out of the mercenary life on their own terms. I hope you all one day get the same chance. He raises his cup up in a toast. To you, my friends, there has been never a finer company. Hear, hear! The crowd responds with a burst of applause and cheers, enthusiastically raising their drinks and sending showers of ale through the air. Your gaze is met by Van as he points his cup towards you, and you nod your head in friendly acknowledgement before turning about and striding off to find your tent. With the celebrations continuing in your absence, you brush aside the flap to your tent and settle inside, discarding your weaponry and tossing it near your bedroll. You turn to find Alaric in your presence, no doubt eager to discuss business. Hope I'm not disturbing you, sir. I was on my way to pay the horses a visit and prepare us to tomorrow's travel. He gestures to the pack of slung around your shoulder, containing the contraband you recently retrieved. It's probably best if we store those vials in one of our carriages. He reaches out with the palm facing up. You glance at it, gently sliding off your pack, and place it on the hand. He looks down, somewhat surprised by the heft of it. Well then, I'd best take care of this. He nods respectfully and turns, pushing aside the tent flap with an outstretched arm, and briskly walks out into the night. You turn your attention to your desk. Its surface is covered with disorganized papers and maps, illuminated by the faint glow of a candle. Pulling up a stool, you sit down and begin to pore over one of the maps, charting it out tomorrow's course. From outside, the sound of laughter and poorly played music drifts into your tent. After some time, with the celebrations audibly winding down, you step outside your tent and into the cool evening air. Van approaches you from your side, mounted atop a horse. Despite the smile on his face, there is a trace of sadness in his eyes. It is time then? Aye, he leans down and pats the side of his horse. Got my saddle loaded up, figured I'd sneak out without making a big fuss. He rises from his seat and dismounts, turning to face you with one hand extended. Just wanted to say thanks, boss, for everything. You return the gesture with a smile, gripping his hand and giving it a firm shake. Any chance I can convince you to stay? He steps back and chuckles. If you'd asked me last week, maybe. But this job, clearly any doubts I had. I've survived this long, reckon I'd be a fool to press my luck any further. Fair enough, friend. Well, always have a place for you if you change your mind. You hear a shout and turn to see Yurik stepping towards you, his young nephew in tow. Sorry to interrupt. He tilts his head, gesturing behind him. But Yurik here wanted to see you off. Is that so? Van smiles, stepping towards the boy and slapping a hand down on his shoulder. I haven't finished your training, but your uncle's more capable of finishing the job. I know. He looks up, conveying admiration. I'm going to miss you, though. Aye, Van grins, reaching out to tassel the boy's hair. And are you? I've half a mind to send him with you. Less danger on a farm, and God knows your old bones could use the help. Ha! There's a few good years of me yet, but you're both welcome to visit any time. He exhales deeply, stealing a glance towards the road. I'd best be getting going, then. Take care of yourselves, would you? With a farewell nod, he turns towards his horse, grabbing hold of the saddle's pommel and hoisting himself atop with a click of his heels. The horse trots off, and you watch him disappear into the dark of night, illuminated only by the moonlight above. You and Yorick glance back at the sound of approaching footsteps to find Torin wedging himself between the two of you, his heavy hand firmly planted on each of your shoulders. Company won't be the same without him, I'm afraid. Indeed it won't. As Yorick and Torin take their leave, you look around the camp, surveying the aftermath of the night's celebrations. Aside from a few inebriated men and women who remain slumped by the fires, it seems most have turned in for the night. With days of travel ahead, you think it wise to follow suit. Okay. You bolt upright from your sleep, awakened by the blare of horns from somewhere in your camp, an alarm being raised. The sound of a frenzied battle are all around you, and you scramble out of your bedrock, taking up a nearby sword. Alaric bursts into your tent, an orange glow briefly visible behind him as the flap flung aside. "Sir, we're under attack!" Winded, he takes in a few deep breaths. "There's no warning! The horses, the carriages!" He raises his hand, trembling with frustration. "Everything's being taken!" "We need to regroup with the others. Have you seen Yorick?" Aldrich wipes the sweat from his brow, shaking his head. "Couldn't find him. With his nephew, I hope." You meet Aldrich's eyes and nod in agreement. With a firm grip on your sword, you step past him, reaching your other hand towards the tent flap, prepare to step outside. You glance over your shoulder. "Let's move. Stay close." You emerge from the tent, head on a swivel as you attempt to survey the situation. The camp is almost entirely ablaze, the heat and smoke stinging your eyes and obscuring your vision. You make your way ahead, your feet suddenly catching on something as you fall forward and scramble to stay upright. Recovering, you steal a glance backwards at the obstruction. One of your companions is dead. An arrow flies by you, narrowly missing, but finding a target nevertheless. Aldrich screams out in pain behind you, legs collapsing under him as he falls hard to the ground. You turn back, reaching out a hand to pull him up, but he waves you off. "Leave me. I'll be no use in a fight." You follow his gaze down to his leg, a blood-covered arrow stuck through it. "Go!" You turn and continue onwards, staying low to the ground as you move, your eyes still scanning for any friendly face through the smoke. A man jumps in front of you with frenzied eyes and a dagger in his hand. He lunges clumsily forward and you sidestep the thrust, raising your sword high and slashing down between his neck and shoulder, the blade cutting deep. The man falls to the ground, blood squirting from the fatal wound as you face forward and break into a stride once again. Not 50 yards ahead, you spot 3 of your companions through the haze, huddled together with weapons drawn against an overwhelming number of assailants. Sucking air into your burning lungs, you urge your legs forward in a desperate attempt to reach them. A figure suddenly appears from the corner of your eye, and with a flash of pain, the world goes dark. Surrounded, Elbert's head whips around, searching frantically for any possible escape as the raiders edge closer. Beyond the ring of enemies, Torin and a few other familiar faces emerge from the darkness with bloody weapons drawn. They don't seem inclined to make any urgent use of them. "What are you waiting for, Torin? Help us!" The raiders eye Torin as he confidently steps among them, each seemingly unconcerned by his presence, perhaps even emboldened by it. "Sorry, friends." A twisted smirk forms on the corner of his mouth as he slides an arrow from its quiver. "We'll make this quick." "Oh!" Albert glares at Torin with wild fury in their eyes, arms trembling as they level their weapon towards him. "You damn traitor! What have you, no honor?" Torin scoffs. Honor achieves little in this world. Glancing sideways at his accomplices, he raises a hand, signaling them to attack. "I trust you lot can handle the rest. Spare no one." We got 5, 6 on 3. He can't reach anyone, so they might not be able to reach him. Oh, they got archers though. Oh, yeah, 6. Okay. Adventurer, Outlaw, Blade Master. Okay, let's maybe... What do we do here? Let's wait, turn, see what they do. Albert Winken has succumbed to his injuries. Heart failure. Heart is beyond healing, leading to death. Okay, that seemed to happen quite quickly. Okay, so there's two movements here. So if we can't, can we step there? Maybe. 400 health. I don't think we're going to be getting through this, but let's see. Go there, we wait. This guy comes up this side. We attack him. We are in big trouble. That was a lucky kill. Okay. Wonder if she can heal herself. Oof. Snail. He's dodged again. This guy unhittable. No. Okay. Heal. 240. I think we're gonna have to do that. We're about to get hit by this one though. We can put her out of harm's way. Doesn't this guy get a turn? No. Okay. Now we'll cleanse her wounds. Oh, this one. And then we realistically want to get away from these guys so they can't hit us. Let's go over here. Oh, we're going to get attacked then. Of course. Let's kick him out the way. Oh, he still can't move afterwards. I didn't know that. Okay. She moves me. We're in dire straits. $219. We could kill that guy. Both of them attacking him. Oh, he gets a turn. Oh god. Uh-oh. We could kill him, but we would get hit once. I think that's worth it, but he's gonna die nearly. Alright, let's go and kill this guy. Oh. Oh! Okay, never mind, that was hopeless. Interesting that she gets to use her skill even though she's doing a standard attack. Striking their target. 2 says in a row, must be filled, okay. Alright, well I guess we'll just do a standard attack. And now it starts going bad. Oh golly. There are varied injuries that your characters can sustain in combat, each with their own penalties used by using bandages or injuring location. Or on an injured location, you can stabilize all current injuries for that body part, prevent them from worsening. If you continue fighting with unstabilized injuries, the severity of it can increase and other injuries occur. Okay. Okay. So this won't cause attacks of opportunity, I'm guessing. Bleed out point. Oh, she's got 6 bleed out points. 2 bleed out points. 1 bleed out point. 0 bleed out points. Just a dodger left. Can we run? Fight to the death. We'll take 2 down with us. Just gonna hone her weapon. Phew. Even with 1 more person, we might be able to make it. Okay. Opening your eyes, you find yourself sprawled on the ground with a mouthful of dirt and a throbbing ache in your head. Despite the ring in your ears, you can hear a muffled voice calling out. A hand grips your shoulder and you jerk at the touch. Clawing at the ground, you scramble onto your back. Easy now. You exhale with relief at the sight of Uric leaning over you, the early morning light shining upon his blood-splattered face and garments. He straightens up and you grab hold of his extended arm, gripping tight as he pulls you up. Regaining your senses, you look out at the smoke remains of your camp. Anything not taken by the raiders has been taken by the fires. Not much left, is there? The bastard took everything. He closes his eyes, lowering his head and sighs deeply. It was Tauren, sir. He betrayed us. Tauren? Are you sure? Eric nodded. Wasn't alone either. Damon, Enos, Nyra. His fingers clench as he into trembling fists. All damn traitors. Through the anger, you notice a sadness in his eyes and realize suddenly that his nephew isn't present. Where's Jedrick? Uric glances down, slowly shaking his head. I don't know for certain, but I fear he's dead, he sighs. I was with him when the attack started, but we ran into trouble. Told the boy to run, but he pauses, staring blankly into the distance as you place a comforting hand on his shoulder. Don't remember much else, I'm afraid. Woke up to Elric's dragging me out from under a pile of bones. Elric's alive? Are there any others? He's alive. Managed to find a place to hide and patch himself up. I told him to stay off his feet, he snorts, waving a hand over the general area behind him. But he's out there limping around trying to salvage what he can. His brief smirk fades into a grim expression. There was no one else, I'm afraid. You turn to see Elric emerge from a half-burnt tent, limping away, a relieved smile forming in his face at the sight of you. Gods, I'm glad to see you, sir. He glances at Elric. Have you shared the news? I did. Elric fumbles inside his coat, pulling out a few slightly scorched papers. I found some correspondence in one of their tents. The traitorous bastards had been planning this for months, it seems. Any idea who they were working with? I'm afraid not. Certainly more than just a ragtag group of thieves. They were too well armed and too well organized. Uric scoffed with disgust, leaning over his spit on the ground. A group of cowards, I say. Easy to achieve victory when half of your troops are passed out drunk. No doubt Tauren and them were counting on that fact. The spineless pricks. Elric furrows his brow, a thought creeping into his mind. I can hardly stomach the notion, but could Vane have been involved? Uric waves a dismissive hand. Not a chance. I know he and Tauren got on well enough, but the man's as loyal as they come. I'm just glad he wasn't here for us. We would have lost too much already. Regardless of who was involved, there is little we can do now, at least for now. So what's our plan, boss? You know I'll follow you anywhere, but I promised my sister would look after Jedrick. If he's somehow alive, I need to find him, and if he's not, well, he points, pounds a fist into his other hand. Us putting those traitors into the ground will have to suffice. Elric places a calming hand on Eric's shoulder. The boss is right. We have a little choice in the matter. I understand you want vengeance, so do I. But we haven't the manpower or the means to seek it right now. And doing so will only get us killed. If we're going to do this, we'll need to first restore our numbers, then I promise we'll hunt those traitors down. You look at each other with renewed purpose, all nodding in agreement. Right then, we'd best travel light. It's a long walk to Andalon. As your caravan travels throughout the world, time will progress. You can also advance to the next day by pressing C. Supplies and general upkeep can be expensive, and every day that passes will cost us coin. Given the situation, we can't afford a long journey. We should make our way to City of Andalon to rest and regroup. Okay, doesn't seem that far away. Show city information. Take 11 days to travel to Andalon. Okay. Cloth wraps, travelers, adventurous sword. Okay, we got reputation with the different factions around the place. We can't build a camp yet. Company upgrades. Okay. Tents. Can have more roster. Reduces the base fatigue value and improves the elements time. Okay. Company history. Okay. Alright, let's travel. Enter the city. Peaceful. It's got a ruler. It's got a religion, culture. It's got main export. After many long days on the road, you and your companions breathe a collective sigh of relief upon entering the city limits of Andalon. The streets are bustling with traffic, and though it does seem to be business as usual, you can't help but sense an uneasiness among the people. Yurik seems to pick up on it as well, and with narrowed eyes he looks up at the sky. The days are growing darker, that's for sure. He gestures to the crowds. No doubt they're all concerned about the scourge. Can't say I blame them. On the bright side, there will be no shortage of work available to us, but for now, he winces and glimps down his injured leg. We could all do with a few days' rest. Arik begins to shuffle forward, gesturing ahead with a nod. I believe the inn is this way. With the morning sun shining into the room at the inn, you rise from your bed, pleased to find your body finally free of its many aches. Gathering your belongings, you walk down the creaking stairs to the ground floor, spotting your companion already seated at a table and breaking their fast. Morning, sir. You're looking a sight better, huh? Come. He gestures to the seat behind him with one of his hands, taking up a spoonful of porridge with the other. Sit and eat. Across the table, Arik tears off a piece of bread and hands it to you. We were just discussing our next... Arik trails off as a man approaches the table. Your previous employer, Caelum, sporting a puzzled look upon his face. I must say, I'm surprised to see you here. I heard about the battle. Heard you were dead, in fact. He slides into the seat opposite you, spreading his arms wide. Yet here you are. Heard it from who? Your associate. He looks up, trying to recall his name. Torin, that was it. Tall bastard, he was. Said your entire company was killed in an ambush, and that he was lucky to be alive. Anyway, he brought me the vials, so we concluded our business and he went on his way. You just believed his story? Truth be told, no. I could tell he was hiding something, but I wasn't about to refuse the man. I suspect he could rip me apart with his bare hands. He was so inclined. Was there anyone else with him? A boy, 15 years? The man scratches his chin. He had a few companions, from what I saw. None that young, though, however. Any idea where they headed? I don't know that either, I'm afraid. It seems they were each going their separate ways. Arik raises an eye at that piece of information. Retiring, perhaps? They certainly can't afford it, having stolen everything from us. So, they betrayed you and stole your fortune, did they? I'm sorry for that, but perhaps we can help each other out. You have a job for us? More of an arrangement. Caelum leans in close, placing an elbow on the table. I've been looking to expand my business across Caelum, but the road's a dangerous place, as you well know, and I am in need of a permanent guard. In return, I will offer you a discount on all my wares, potions, elixirs, and the like. I'm sure that there'll be great use in your line of work. To be clear, I would not interfere with the operation of your company. Of that you can be sure. In fact, I care not where we travel, so long as there are buyers for me to sell. He leans back, spreading his hands across the table. So what do you think? Sounds like a fair proposal. I accept your offer. Caelum smacks a hand down on the table. Excellent! Then consider me in your service, my friends. And as I said, where we go is entirely up to you. Though with the scourge approaching, we want to leave sooner rather than later. Arik lifts a hand, a single finger raised. There's one problem, however. We simply cannot afford to travel anywhere at the moment, not to mention we are without carriage or horses. You've certainly had a rough go of it, huh? He waves a hand. No matter, I can supply both horses and carriages. As for funds, I hear the local vanguard have their hands full at the moment. I suspect you might find some work with them. He leans close, lowering his voice. Just don't mention my other activities. They would be none too pleased to learn of the vials in my possession. Thanks for the tip. We'll go and see him. Caelum raises from his seat and straightens out his tunic. I have prepared preparations to make then. He looks at you, nodding farewell. I will await you at the gates. Taking a bite from your bread, you look at Caelum and strides out of the inn. Arik turns back to you, fingers rubbing his chin. You know, sir, I was thinking it might be wise to retire the company name. So long as those traitors think us dead, we'll have an easier time rebuilding our numbers. And when we're ready to strike back against them, it'll be with us with the upper hand. Yurik grunts in approval as he swallows the last of his drink. He's right, I reckon. Best not draw any extra attention on ourselves. If we can help it, any ideas for a name, boss? White Lotus always has a nice ring to it, I thought. White Lotus, huh? He pauses, flashing a toothy grin. Aye, I believe that will suit us well. When visiting a city, you can view available contracts by clicking one of the contract banners at the top of the screen. The icon on the banner tells you which faction is offering the contract, and completing it will increase your reputation with them. We're hardly in a position to be picky right now. I say we take whatever the job the Vanguard has to offer. Okay, I think we'll leave it there for the let's try. If people are keen, I can do a few more episodes to finish the demo off and see where it goes, and in the future maybe do a long episode on it. It's a pretty cool game. A lot of talking though, but yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and if you enjoy the game, add it to your wish list for the publisher and developer. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, WhiteFalcon out.